It's good, Unleashed crew. We're back at it again with another edition of questions, and we're about to get into one involving a dude who met a girl at a work conference, and ended up texting her and trying to set up a date, but he's in a bit of a sticky situation. So let's just get into it. Anybody know us? Oh, what? Wait, I'm reading the wrong one. Okay, am I going about this correctly? Okay, 21 male. Thank you for the information. Met this pretty cool girl, 18 to 20, not sure, at a work-related networking event last week. She definitely wasn't a 10-10, but potential is definitely there if she had a guy to teach her worth and show her how to take care of herself. Damn. Damn, man, you're more ruthless than me. Shit. All right, well, I could definitely see her as a great friends with benefits if someone truly helped her discover herself. Jeez, man, you, jeez. I'm not even sure if this is almost serious, man. You sound insane, to be honest. You sound pretty arrogant. But I'm just gonna go ahead and read it. Turns out she lives fairly close. I told her we should shoot the shit sometime, especially considering she's so close. I got her number and sent her a cheesy text. Now it's a week later. How do I go about this, guys? I have no clue what her work schedule is like. Should I text her tomorrow afternoon, Saturday, and say, hey, want to catch brunch at so and so tomorrow, Sunday? She seemed like the oblivious goody two shoes type. I recall her saying she doesn't drink. If she does agree for brunch, how do I escalate romantic interest without scaring this girl off? Please help me. It would be cool if something came out of this. Please help me, Reddit. It'd be cool if something came out of this. Okay, well, first of all, right, so you met this girl at a work-related conference. You didn't really tell me how much you guys spoke a lot, so I'm assuming you guys didn't go super duper deep. So yeah, a text like that would be fine because at the end of the day, if you didn't really build a super duper solid connection, all you can try to do is say a really cool, like a cool plan that sounds cool, but you're not like putting a whole bunch into it. It's like you're putting some casual enthusiasm, like, hey, let's go check out this thing. It's gonna be cool. And you just send it out here, but you send it out there in a way where it's just not a real big deal, which is exactly how you wrote it. So in a way, I pretty much think you're right in that aspect. That being said, you did say you text her something cheesy, which again, I tried to avoid that. If you meet a girl in real life and you text her something afterwards, try to text her something about what, like just something related to her. Like if she says she's an artist, text her something like, oh, hey, Miss Artistic Girl, whatever the case is, or just referencing something back to the conversation, but not to the point where you're trying to be super duper snarky. Because at the end of the day, you want to use texting to, to just make the second date happen. And because, it's going to be hard to really build a connection over text unless you happen to catch her on a rainy day, or maybe you could text and get something going and get her on the phone and then make something happen in phone sex, because that is possible and I have made it happen and you can too. But ultimately, man, you at the end of the day, you met her at a work-related conference. And at the end of the day, work is for work. So as much as you might be looking at this girl as a potential girl, at the end of the day, you met her at work, man. Start looking outside of work. Start looking outside of things that are just limited within your little 9 to 5 grind. I know it can be tough and it might take a bit of extra effort and it's not just right there, but at the end of the day, it's going to be that much better, because when you do go to those things, when you do go to work and whatever the case is, you're going to feel like you have a whole nother life outside of work. And that will also improve your game with the women in those places if you do happen to choose to shit where you eat or whatever the case, whatever you want to call it, because you will have something going on outside of that. You won't be so fucking based in scarcity, and ultimately you'll just come across like someone who has a life, and that shit will just benefit you in every kind of way. So thank you for the question. I think that pretty much answers it. So we're going to answer a second quick one before I hop out of here. This isn't going to be a long one, but let's go. Anyone know start response? So I texted this girl, another texting one. I texted this girl I used to work with last summer, another work one, man. You guys got to start meeting women outside of work. I know you go to work and you go to school, and that's just the main fucking places you spend like 50% of your life. But Jesus Christ, man, we gotta. All right, let me not be a dick. So I texted this girl I used to work with last summer. We exchanged a couple of texts, but ultimately I got left on red. Fast forward to this summer, and I see her at work. She says, you didn't even text me you were coming back. Yeah, that's just like typical female bullshit. Obviously, I wasn't trying to double text, and at this point, I just don't want it to be awkward, but I couldn't think of anything to say except don't kill me. You don't have to say that, man. Don't be scared of women. They're just women. When they're over here putting a little pressure on you or just saying, hey, you didn't text me, just be like, I just, yeah, things were just in the way. But how you been? Just change the subject. Just get into right where she is right then and there. Whenever women press you, don't ever feel like you're under pressure. Just calmly look at them in the eye and answer truthfully. That's it. Too many of you guys, this is another thing. Like the last guy, he said you texted something cheesy. A lot of you guys, you're just not being honest enough. It's okay. Like if you had a casual conversation with a girl outside, there's nothing you're gonna super duper hack to really text her. Act casual and just enthusiastic and just be truthful to yourself without putting your foot in your mouth or sucking up to her or trying to act too extra and goofy. And you'll do the best thing possible because sometimes less is more, especially when it comes to texting, because being quirky over texting is not like how it was when texting first came out. You know, when texting and the internet came out, you could send the girl a message, some quirky shit. Now, with the way meme culture is, and the internet, it's not as effective. So a lot of times less is more and just casual enthusiasm. And I know I ranted a bit, but let me just continue. Obviously, I wasn't trying to double text at this point. That's another thing too, man. Now she's just bullshitting. That's just what girls do. They'll leave you on scene, and then when they see you, be like, "Oh my god, you haven't hit me up. You've been such a stranger," and blah 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 blah. Just playing dumb with them. And if you have an opportunity to make something happen right then and there, just focus on making things happen right then and there. Instead of trying to prove your innocence, ask her what she's been doing for the last year. At the end of the day, instead of always thinking, because this is a common pattern, instead of always thinking about what's the best response to make you look good, start just genuinely being curious about the girl herself and what she's been up to in life, and that'll naturally lead to you asking more validating questions and more thoughtful questions that'll make her open up, and then you can open up about your shit. It's an A-B conversation instead of always worrying about trying to look cool. As long as you don't act like a total fucking bitch, you don't have to worry about making the always cool response, and especially over text, because it's very easy to put your foot in your mouth. Trust me, I'm very sarcastic. I've done it a lot of times, and I paid dearly for it. And I'm just trying to save you. So with that being said, Unleash Gang, this has been another edition of the Q&A. Subscribe, like, comment below. We got a new setup, man. We got a lot of different new things coming up. So thank you for watching, everyone who's still Unleashed Gang, who's dedicated, man. We just getting started, bro. So with that being said, don't get caught slipping around these. Earlier I got a comment from a feminist, and she said one of my videos is a prime example of toxic masculinity 101. You know what I said to her? I said, this is a prime example of toxic femininity. How you like that? Ah, yeah, checkmate.